Welcome back, everybody, to the OFSEA High School League of Legends matches. Today, or as of right now, we have the Le Kodiak Innovation versus Saint Puy Catholic Secondary School. I'm really excited. After seeing the first game, I I didn't expect that much chaos, but now I'm ready for it.
I mean, it was interesting when we had like the two polar opposites collide, right? It was the
Yeah.
early game aggression versus the I just want to play safe, please let me get to the late game.
Yes.
And in this case here for the side of Toronto District, they with them being the aggressors, they absolutely capitalized and thrived on that chaos.
Yeah.
That being said, though, the Kodiak versus LPI, we have no idea what kind of team compositions are necessarily going for in terms of play style. It very well could be an absolute like chaos, or we could have some solid organization because it's going to be an interesting mix of students this time by.
Yes. So, would you like to start by introducing LPI for us?
LPI, let's take a look. Of course, again, big thank you to OFSEA to get all of this information here for all of the players. I have absolutely no idea how amazing it is to have some actual context.
Exactly.
And we have an interesting little dilemma, in-team dilemma between these two.
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so
Give it to me, Dan.
here we go. So we have Cappying, which is going to be giving Hang out a grade 11.
Mhm.
Apparently a pro camper.
Ooh.
And it's, for fun fact, it says Instant blames everybody else. And for a top laner is an Ophelio Swan trick. Now, if we go down the line here, we have Diego Gozin in the jungle, grade 11.
Okay.
In mid lane, we have not Cianime that's going to be Sean Malloy in grade 11, hates Aphelios. So we have somebody who loves Aphelios and somebody who hates it.
I mean, that works too.
Neither of these players are AD carry mains. Then
Interesting.
we have Microsoft's bad.
Yes.
It's going to be Michael Pereira,
Okay.
another grade 11, being labeled as the tried and true AD carry main.
All right.
And then we have Eddie Zalia, also grade 11. And this is a Call of Duty tag if I have ever seen one. My goodness. No. We have XXEXZXX. I'm just gonna call him we're gonna call him XZ.
Yeah,
XZ
sounds good. All right.
And then how about the side of the Kodiaks out of Innovation?
So for Les Kodiak, the school is École Secondaire Catholique d'Innovation. So for our top laner we have Papa Prince Pog. Great
Papa
name.
Prince Pog. Let's go.
His name is Philippe Dugré. He is in grade 12. He is actually attending St. Clair next year for the esports program. So let's go. We're happy to hear that. His fun fact of the day for us, Dan. 93% win rate KO.
That explains the ban then.
That does explain the ban.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So for the jungle, we do have Jake. His real name is Jacob Danis. He is also in grade 12. He clearly has the best sleep schedule in North America, according to him.
So he probably goes to bed at like 4 in the morning then.
I relate to it. And then he is also the former rank 34 Hecarim. Emphasis on the former, he says in brackets.
No.
He even put it in brackets for us.
Hecarim's banned too, so fair enough. I'll believe it.
It's like I'm reading everybody's minds right now.
This all makes sense. It's amazing what context with players actually does to a broadcast. Eh?
For the mid laner, we have Snowball, we have Malcolm Tia, also grade 12. He is also attending St. Clair next year.
Let's go. All right, right on.
Trust me, guys, the esports program is amazing. I actually just graduated from it this year, and I'm very happy with myself. But I'm sure you guys will enjoy it, so good luck with that. His quote for us is he didn't really do the 40 hours of community work that he said he did.
I didn't think you're supposed to read that part. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay. It's just a secret between us. For the ADC, we have Illusion 27. His name is Adrian Salisbury. He is in grade 10, and he is... What? It's like he knows what you mean, and it says confidence to the max.
So just no matter what, he knows what you mean.
I assume so, yes. And then for the support, we have Helmelin. His name is Cieli Moro. He is in grade 11, and he is a Thresh fanboy
Okay.
and a Soulsborne fanatic and beginner pianist.
Okay, so that
Very
means
classy.
those are all extremely difficult. My goodness. Either
Yes.
extremely talented or an absolute masochist. So we'll have to see as we go on through this draft here. Sorry, go ahead.
I would hope that I pronounce things correctly. I'd still like to say that I'm bilingual, but
You probably did way better than I would have. But we do have the actual draft itself going on through. So Heckram, Kale, and Akali are going to be banned out for this side of LPI. Meanwhile, the Kodiaks are going to take care of Aurelia, Pantheon, and Ari. Meanwhile, the first picks coming on through. LPI straight up first pick Draven, which I mean, if that is a flex, if I've ever seen one, that is like you're saying someone had confidence to the max. That's a confidence to the max kind of move.
That is confidence to the max because you never first pick ADC.
No.
It doesn't matter what kind of matchup you're in, you just don't do it. But we do see the Wukong and Warwick coming in for LPI, and then for Le Kodiak, we have Karma, Twisted Fate, and Yasuo.
An interesting mix.
Are we going to see another Ricky top laner play here? Are we going to see the Yasuo top here? I'm excited.
It's definitely possible. Now, looking at the side of LPI, this composition, I know we're only 3 characters in, or 3 champs in, but this screams dive. Oh,
yeah, 100%.
So this could
no
be
doubt.
very scary. And honestly, it's probably a good thing that the Kodiaks are out of innovation. Didn't pick their AD carry yet, because it could be troublesome, to say the least, if they pick something really immobile. However, LPI then went out and banned the Ezreal, which is one of those mobile AD carries.
Yeah, they definitely want to stop Le Kodiak from being able to get out of anything. And then we also see the Darius ban, and then for Le Kodiak we have the Swain and Udyr ban. Then, moving forward, we do have the Alistar pick that goes with the Draven, as well as the Annie pick. You were lying when... Okay, I feel like you kind of jinxed it, because, like, it's more of a dive comp than I've ever seen before.
They full committed to this.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I feel like this is going to be a repeat of last game.
I mean, I don't know, though, because the Kodiaks here of innovation, they do have tools this time to actually deal with it. Like, Thresh is an expert at trying to get people away from his team as we hop on in here. And then... you also do end up having... Hang on a second. We do have a Diana, actually, coming out from Jake. So one of the picks, actually, must have been a...
It was the Twisted Fate one.
Okay.
Whoa. Something interesting, though. Why is Rek'Sai mid and Diana jungle?
I'm guessing they probably just didn't quite line up in proper LCS order, but that's okay.
Game.
Or it'll be a little bit messy. We're going to figure this one out as we go along here, nonetheless. It does look like the Diana is going to be in the jungle this time by. We switch things around nice and quick here. So it is going to be on the jungle side. It is going to be the Warwick jungle is basically his home. Going to give him a little bit of a boost nonetheless. Diego's going to start off on the red hand side of things. Jake's going to be... they're both going to be starting on the red buff side of things. And now... up in the top lane, because they picked up the Thresh, it does mean that Papa Prince Pog is going to be playing the Karma this time by. But one of the things that I was mentioning, they had the Thresh as like an expert at getting people away.
Yep.
You have Papa Prince Pog with the movement speed, the snares, as well as shields for days. And then it's really just messed things up a little bit because we do not have a traditional AD carry.
No, we
on
don't.
the side of innovation, which is extremely concerning to say the least, especially against a Draven. But we do have a gank already here in the top lane. They're trying to take care of this Wukong here. Cappy is going to make his way out of there though, so just going to have to burn the flash. Can go back and heal if necessary, but some good pressure coming out already here from Innovation.
For sure. Your point about having a non-traditional AD carry here, Yasuo has actually been bouncing between bot lane and mid lane recently.
Oh?
Basically, as long as you have a team comp that has enough knockups, then you're able to get that extremely good ulti off for Yasuo, where he needs a knockup in order to bring all the enemies in the air, slash them a bunch, and then drop them back down, dealing a ton of damage. So with the Diana ulti, that brings everybody forward and knocks them up, as well as the Rek'Sai knockup. And it even counts for displacement. So if Fresh uses his Flay, which pull people towards him, Yasuo is able to use his ulti off of that. So they have a really, really good team comp here.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me though is because Microsoft's bad here, as well as XZ. That is a lane dominant like pairing if I've ever seen one. So if in theory, anytime Illusion there goes to go for any sort of minion kill to get some gold,
Yeah.
he should be getting punished with a massive axe to the forehead. However, as of right now, it seems like they're actually getting away with it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Yasuo, because his passive, it creates a shield. Actually, we do see some action going on some top lane there. We do see some little bit of poking. Wasn't sure if there was going to be a fight, but back to what we were saying. Yasuo's passive, he basically, that little bar where his mana is supposed to be, once that fills up and it turns white, he's able to get a shield if he's hit. But just give us 1 second while we look at this team fight going on here. Looks like they're going to go both in on the Draven and the Alistar here. Draven's going to have to flash away in order to just save his life. Ignite did pop from the Thresh, dealing a little bit of damage, but nothing too major.
Yeah, so they burned the flash out of Microsoft's bad, but in terms of damage, the side of LPI were able to trade out, if not do more damage than what was coming there. Snowmal might be in for a world of hurt, though. Here comes Diego on the Warwick, and of course, sees him the smells blood.
Ooh.
Flash Ignite is going to do it, I do believe. There it goes.
Very nice
First
play.
blood coming out of Cianime, and that is going to be a fantastic first blood. Needed it too, because the Annie was actually down on CS.
Yes, the Annie, I feel like she will struggle a little bit in this lane because the Rek'Sai is, she can do exactly what we saw there. She is able to use her tunnels, just knock her up and do a ton of damage right before backing out. But that was a beautiful flash ignite by the Annie. Looks like bot lane wants to go in here, but they're not exactly sure if they're able to yet. This is the thing that sucks about this lane, because it's like you want to go in and get the Yasuo and Thresh, but Yasuo does so much more damage than you think he does early.
Right. And then honestly, like, fantastic discipline coming out from the side of LPI too. There's been so many teams I've seen who will see a person that low, and it's like, okay, we're all inning. We're just gonna dive between like 2 turrets. We're gonna get this kill.
Yeah.
But Diego got the person low, and realized, okay, I'm tanking tower. I need to back off.
Yeah, for sure.
And then good communication there, or the Annie to then just hop on in there and get the final shot, so to speak. So nicely done there from LPI.
If that was me, I'd definitely be the one under the turret, screaming and yelling. Don't question me. I'm plat 4, I promise. We do see up in top lane that they are just doing what they were before. We actually see the Diana coming around the corner in top lane through Tribush. So we might see a fight up there, but just like how it was last game around this time, everybody's just going to be farming, trying to figure out what they want to do next in order to secure a couple kills and possibly a win.
Absolutely, a little bit of an invasion coming on through, but nothing really to steal as of this moment, I do not think. Some decent poke coming out here. Level 6, however, is now available for these top laners. Mid laners, it looks like, as well. So almost everybody has their ultimate move basically unlocked. And that's going to be big for when it comes to Diego there on the Warwick, because that ultimate, being able to lock somebody down for what feels like an eternity, is absolutely amazing. Diego does spot out Jake. He's going to jump on through, but Popcorn's Pog is right there, but so is Cappy. Spin the win, but he's actually going to get shut down relatively quickly. Here he goes, fires it off again. Some decent AoE damage going across the entirety of the Kodiak squad, but it's actually going to be the 1-for-1 trade, and it continues in the bot lane.
We're actually going to go and see the fight bot lane. Work's going to flash in, and Annie's going to pick up another kill on the Karma here. Looks like down bot lane, they tried to fight there, but Yasuo wasn't able to get his knockup off with his tornado, so they're just going to back out, try and get a reset off, and try and get some items in order to have a better time fighting in the lane.
Oh yeah, at least like worst case scenario, you get so much damage, you push the lane, and you get to go back for basically no consequence. But
yeah,
unfortunately there for Papa Prince Pog, I think he was searching for one more elimination.
For sure.
I don't know how the heck they managed to be on the blue side inside the bush, but does get hunted down. Solid job there from the Annie to finish the job as well. And some actual, like, good point out, as we do have like some solid vision all around there, especially in that blue bush side, coming out from the side of Kodiak. So something that does get overlooked very often in League of Legends is just the vision game, because it's not necessarily the most exciting part to talk about, but it's absolutely huge, being able to make plays based off of what you see.
It's not even like you just need vision in order to just like, okay, I have an idea of where they are. It can, like, it can win or lose you the game if you don't have enough vision. You don't know where everybody is all the time because the fog of war, that's the thing that I actually really like about League. You do have a fog of war, so it's very hard to keep track of everybody. And like even sometimes you get surprised of where people are, but it gets very, very technical when it comes to getting enough vision all around the map and getting it in the right places as well.
And because of this vision, they will be allowed to at least get themselves into position to set up for this very first dragon. That being said, they are going to be collapsed upon fight breaking out. Here we go.
Yasuo is going to go in with, as I said, the knockup from Diana. He was able to get that ulti off, able to pick up the kill on Microsoft Bad there. Rek'Sai's going to go in and pick up the kill on... Oh my god, everybody's just dropping like flies. There's no stopping. Wow, that was insane. Okay. I couldn't even keep up with that.
So the triple ends up going over to Jake. The dragon was straight up in the middle of that fight that entire time.
I know.
I know it made things difficult to see. It looks like the fight's actually even continuing up top a little bit here. Gabby is going to basically go even. But okay, you just gave 3 kills over to the Diana. Jake is absolutely cracked right now and is going to be doing so much damage. Tends to be a little bit beefier of an assassin, but because they're so ahead, as long as they can stay ahead, that is going to be a ton of damage. But oh no, unfortunately there for XZ, does get the headbutt, but it does not go up against the wall. The pulverize does not make contact, so gonna push him aside.
Just a casual Thresh walking through turret. Don't mind him.
Okay.
He's just having the time of his life right now.
Melon's just chilling.
He's just having a good time, all right? But that was a really, really good team fight. Exactly what I said earlier, where the Diana's going to pop her ulti, Yasuo's going to do his as well, and it's just going to go extremely smooth. Everybody's going to get one shot, and it's just going to get the, secure the win for the team fight. And it looks like Rek'Sai's going to try and steal a blue buff. Not able to. One thing to point out is that Diana has 8 stack on a Dark Seal. Everybody
That's what you were pointing out.
Yes. Everybody always underestimates how much damage Dark Seal does, but then you realize how much it does when someone has 10 stacks. And Diana's already at 8.
And she's like an absolute queen at just diving in and doing burst AoE damage. So if all of a sudden... Like, this could actually be really, really bad with the way that LPI is meant to be just diving in. Diana doesn't even have to do the diving herself. All of them could, dive to her. It's like, okay, thank you. Boom.
That's the really good thing about their comp. All their ultis kind of just sync up together. And it does look like they do want to pick up a rift here. Not too sure yet. Rek'Sai's going to go in and get the knockup off on War. Actually, he doesn't. He gets feared early before he's able to get the knockoff off.
It's still relatively healthy now, so
yeah.
If they want to turn for it...
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Death Bush.
Death Bush time. The Diana's going to go in. Warwick's going to ult immediately, get that damage off. Diana's going to pop her ulti as well, but the Wukong is dealing too much damage and is able to pick up 2 kills for the side of LPI. Looks like Warwick's going to make it away with his life, and they're just going to try and back out of the fight before anybody else ends up losing their life. Really good team fight there. They played it extremely well. This is what we were talking about earlier. The vision in the bushes are so important. So because they had that control ward there, they were able to eliminate any vision that LPI had in that bush. And because of that, they were able to pull off that fight. Warwick did, again, end up making it out. Diana did get shut down, but she does still have 4 stacks left on her Dark Seal, so she's still doing pretty decent.
I mean, that was an okay spot for LPI to take that fight. We did see Cappy there. That was prime time to start, spinning around on that Wukong.
Oh, yeah.
And it was doing good damage. However, just because it wasn't taken on their terms, really, nobody else was really there to follow up until it was too little too late.
They did, and I believe they did end up going even. The Annie did pick up a kill, but the Warwick did end up... Or, not the Warwick, sorry. The Wukong did end up dying right before Annie was able to kill everybody in time. Alistar is going to go in here. Same with the Thresh. They're going to take out all the knockups in the fight here. Yasuo is going to hit the Tornado on the Draven, go in with the ulti, and pick up the kill on him. Going to try and keep going into the fight, but it looks like they're just going to flash back into turret right before they do die. They're going to try their best. Alistar's going in here on the Thresh, doing a little bit of damage, but not too much. Just trying to keep them away so that then nothing else does end up happening. We do see Annie coming up in the bush. She's a little bit weary about walking in there, so she's going to drop the control ward in. Alistar's going to jump in and knock up the Thresh and stun him before the Annie. Follow up by another stun as well, sending Annie on a killing spree. Yasuo looks like he does want to take this fight, but he decides, it's 3 people, maybe not, and there is a fed Annie in that mix.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get set up for Dragon, start getting some vision, but unfortunately, kind of caught out. Melon
Yes.
sent to the Shadow Realm for just a little bit longer here.
I like the Shadow Realm. It's fun in there.
Is it now? Have you
Just a
been?
little.
Do you frequent?
I don't want to answer that, okay? No comment.
Fair enough in that regard. But yeah, Dragon coming up in 20 seconds here. Some ults did end up getting used there, so that's the anime. Sure, got the kill initially, but will not have Tibbers for the next fight in theory. Unless they decide to take it right now. We do see Tibbers just expire, unfortunately, right in the middle of the tri-bush. So that's going to be a big ult down for now these objectives showing up.
Good thing about Tibbers, though, is that the longer that he stays up, your cooldown for your ultimate still goes down. So sometimes by
true.
the time that Tibbers does expire, your ult's already back up, and you can spot him right again.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's like 3/4 of the way there. So yeah,
Yep.
in theory, sure, the Dragon's up right now. So if they were battling it right now, it would be a problem.
Yes.
But they have a couple extra seconds. Rift Herald's going to go over to Jake, however, on the side of Innovation. And now we can start seeing they're just starting to ping out the Dragons. And Infernal wanted that one as well, so some damage on the line.
It looks like LPI wants to try and make sure that the Kodiak don't go any further into the drag pit, but because they did spawn the Rift mid, they are going to have to respond to it. It's either lose a turret or you lose another drag. It's all up to them. Wukong's going to go in on the Karma here with the ulti and the knock-up. They're going to spawn the Tibbers again and pick up the kill for the Wukong off the Karma. But on the other hand of things,
this is doable.
Kodiak is going to pick up the drag. They're going to go in here on the Wukong. Diana's going to jump over to the rest of the team and knock everybody up, but Yasuo is not able to respond yet. He is able to get the tornado off and get his ulti off as well, but Draven is going to pick up the kill from the execute on his ulti. They are going to pick up the Rek'Sai as well, and I believe the Diana also went down.
Yep, so that does end up going down, but a solid turn and burn there from the side of LPI, but also like solid there from the side of Innovation, and then specifically Melon there in that Dragon pit, because that very well could have been, okay, they got majority of that mid turret down. I don't think it completely fell.
No, it didn't.
But they LPI dealt with the Herald. They were making their way to Dragon. Diego on that Warwick was leading the charge and very well could have challenged the Smite for the Dragon's final kill. However, Melon, the hook, did stun up Diego for a long enough time they could secure the Dragon. And then they can turn for the full team fight. Unfortunately for the side of Innovation, that team fight did not necessarily go in their favor. It was just a solid overall play from LPI to continue after taking the kill off of Papa Prince Bog. But was so close to just like making the cake and eating it too, so to speak. But Melon at least makes it so that they go up 2 dragons to nothing here in this game.
At least that's the good thing about it. They did end up picking the drag, so it didn't really go all like horrible for Le Kodiak. But the thing that happened in that team fight, or what I assume happened in that fight, is that the Diana did go in with her ultimate, was able to knock up, I believe, 3 people, but the Yasuo wasn't ready at the time. We actually do see a gank coming in. Thresh is going to try and play everybody away from him, so no knockup comes through. Yasuo's going to try and get his knockup off with the tornado. Ults the Alistar there, so not a lot of damage coming through. They are just going to pick up the kill really fast on the Yasuo, and it looks like they're going to go for Melons as well. But up in top lane, Rex is going to use Prowler's Claw, and they're just going to instantly pick up the kill. Rex is going to... Nope, not a trade. Rexa is going to lose his life to the turret. Luckily, it isn't execute, though, so... Oh, he doesn't have a bounty. He did have a bounty. I wonder what happened.
So do we just give the gold to the minions?
Yeah.
No.
You don't want rich minions? You got to fatten them up. That's how cannon minions are made.
They've been working with these little tired, like, iron axes and swords for too long. They need an upgrade. Can we get some diamond swords or something like that?
Just wait for the next official event that comes out, and they'll probably do some map changes like they do for Arcane, or not Arcane, Arcade. Arcane's always on my mind. I can't stop.
No, I know. But that was definitely a little bit rough there for the side of Kodiaks on the bot lane there. Illusion, like, Melon was trying to push everybody away from him, and then Illusion dove in, got the ultimates, but of all people, it went on to EXE on that Alistar, and just like, okay, come at me, bro. Like, I can tank this. This is no big deal to me. And meanwhile, Microsoft's just bad, and Diego is just like throwing claws, throwing axes, absolutely nothing that either of them can do. So some big value, especially since we know Draven just absolutely cashes out on every single elimination. But we do have another skirmish happening down in the bot lane. We have 3-on-3.
Speaking of which, The Yasuo is going to take the displacement off of the Thresh Q there, is going to try and pick up the kill on Warwick. He's going to have to ult out. They are going to pick up the kill on Alistar here, and he's going to come in and stun the Diana and pick up the kill on her. Who knows if the Diana is going to live long enough? She's going to try. Oh, actually, she took out Thresh first, tried to go for the Diana, but wasn't able to because of the Rek'Sai knockup. That's what I was talking about with Rek'Sai last game. Rek'Sai's able to just say, hey, I see a little enemy over there. I don't want them to be over there anymore. Let me just do my thing. I'm going to knock you up. I'm going to do all my damage with one ability, and then you're gone.
I mean, it helps when you have some buddies and teammates nearby, too, to help
Very
seal
true.
the deal in that regard there, too, because that could have been rough. Nasty Anime was right there with that extremely fed Annie. Dropped the Tibbers, but it maybe didn't quite hit the targets that they were necessarily looking for. Flashed into the middle of literally everybody, and I know you're up 8 eliminations. You're definitely feeling yourself a little bit.
Yep.
But even then, like, Kodiak's like, what are you doing? I'm taking care of you nice and quick there.
Yeah.
And honestly, good on innovation. That was a really good fight for him, even though it kind of started very similar to what we saw happen with that last bot lane skirmish. Where again, Illusion got the displacement from Melon, but then the ult only hit the Alistar.
Yeah.
But hang on a second, we actually have a 2-on-2 right in the jungle.
Karma is going to get the root off on the Warwick here, and he's actually going to miss the Tibbers stun. Wukong's going to have to ult his way out of the fight. Karma is going to pick up the kill with the Q, though, and it looks like Warwick and Annie are just going to try and make it out, but it doesn't look like they're able to. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai is going in on the Draven here. He picks up the kill on him. Diana's going to let the ulti come through and kill off the Warwick just in time. Yasuo is going to go in, kill Annie with the tornado, and now there's only Alistar left, the tankiest one of them all.
And it's going to slow them down for at least a second to go get their minions, but for Illusion there on the Yasuo, that's where you go into all chat and you type worth when you get the
Very true.
when you get the 1-for-1.
Alistar is going to go in here on Papa Prince Pog and is trying to pick up the kill. Little does he know, Karma gets her health back if she uses her empowered W on him. The W is that little string that you see whenever that Karma does root anybody. But it looks like Kodiak is just going to sit back and try and pick up the drag, and after that try and reset and see what they can do later on.
I was going to say, that was going to be a wet noodle fight if I ever saw one. Just neither the Alistar or the Karma were going to die in that scenario. But in the meantime, we do see the third dragon hop on over here for the side of innovation. The 4-dragon buff right around the corner, and Cappy's going to get themselves caught. And a good little retreat there from Ellen to save Papa Prince Pog from what was more than likely 3 members of the side of LPI.
One thing that I did want to point out that I think is interesting about this, yes, LPI was up in kills previously before that team fight there, but the way that Kodiak are playing all together, it's insane. Like that's the difference between the team comps. For LPI, their goal is to just lock someone down, just one person, and then take them out one by one. For Kodiak, their goal, I want all of you guys grouped. I'm going to take all of you guys out at once, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. We do see the Rek'Sai actually going in here, using the Prowler's Claw to close the gap on the Draven, and that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Exactly, right? Wow, they're just gone. The Draven's just gone.
This character is supposed to be a tank. Oh my goodness.
She's supposed to be a bruiser, not an assassin.
No, but this is just the big difference between like dive and pick. Like a lot of times I feel like I can use those terms maybe interchangeably. Like, oh, a dive comp's just a pick comp, right? No, not necessarily. Because, like, yes, they can both be aggressive play styles. However, they can very well play differently here. And it's just going to show that even though the side of LPI are just willing to send it on every fight, their damage is just kind of split. They have decent AoE. Like, in theory, if the Annie hits Tibbers, Wukong's spinning like crazy, Diego on the Warwick is holding somebody down, you have Draven ulti, and you have, like, CC for days coming out of the Alistar. If they're all clumped up, that's a lot of spread damage. Meanwhile, like you were saying before, side of innovation, just land the hook on somebody, pick them off, block them down, they're dead. This is a 4v5 now.
Exactly. The one interesting thing for LPI, yes, they do have the Draven ulti, but did you know that it actually was changed recently?
Yes, it's at the execute, right?
I'd hate to cut you off here, but the Alistar is going to go on Melon here. They all are actually going to use, I believe that was 2 ultis there just to take out Melon, which I'm not sure if that would be the smartest choice just because we do see that they are pushing in top lane. Capping is going to try and fight the Yasuo here, but in the meantime, the Kodiak, they just want to take your base and they just want to close out this game.
The indecisiveness coming out from LPI just kind of bit them here.
No.
We saw easy or XE rather, in the mid lane, like trying to fight that off. Meanwhile, they need to be at the top lane as well. This fight is going to actually continue. You know what? This is just going to be a full-fledged team fight. Why not?
Oh my god. We did see the Alistar come up behind them. Yasuo was just going to dash all the way up to LPI and get that ulti off. Diana's going to try and use her jumps to get to everybody in time. Warwick is going to pick up the kill on the Rek'Sai. And it looks like the Annie and the Draven get out free for now, but who knows with how everything has been going. We do see a Rek'Sai tunnel just a little bit close by, so she could use that to get closer to them. Actually, it looks like they're just going to Baron, which I agree with this call. They already got the inhib, so they know that they're going to have to deal with those super minions, and half of their team's gone.
I was going to say, this is a 4-on-2 right now, and nobody on the opposing side here for LPI like it has a smite or anything that could really lock it down. You would have to hope to 4-Glory Tibbers it, and it's just not there. Even the Draven ultimate, unless they slow this down. Like,
they're slowing it down so the Rek'Sai can get it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, good thinking about that, honestly, too, just to give them the buff as well.
I believe that it did take a little bit too long, though, because they were worried. They saw that the Warwick came up, and they were like, okay, well, we don't want him to take it. We don't want to give him the chance for that, so we'll just take it out for now, set that, and you know what, Rek'Sai will probably get another one later.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Draven axes just to kind of slide on through and get the kill there, because it came right off cooldown at that time, but not quite.
Yeah, as I was mentioning, though, did you know about the Draven ulti changes or no?
Executes depending on minion kills or adoration stacks, right?
Yes, it depends on that, and executions, they basically also work depending on the percent of health, or the percent of health you're at, it'll do more or less damage. So with their team comp, even though they are a pick comp, his ultimate's kind of just like, I want to secure this kill in case they get away. Because it is a global one. But we are going to take a second here. Melon is going to get the hook on to the Warwick here. Diana's going to jump in and get the triple kill with the Yasuo ulti. That was insane. They are going to pick up a kill, 2 kills for Rek'Sai. That's that's what I'm talking about with their team comp. They were in such a good spot. And they were able to group up and just pick up the kills. And they're just going to end the game. The Karma's already in the base. She used her TP. It's done.
I mean, normally I think of a pick comp. I think of one individual getting picked. Jake just said, how about no? Put that, shut your mouth. This pick comp takes 3 at a time.
Wow.
Like stacks them up, knocks them dead. And that is going to be innovation. Cleaning up the match here with a successful victory over LPI.
Beautiful final team fight. That's exactly what I would want to see after picking that kind of team comp. They played it amazing. Amazing. I'm extremely proud of it. But on the other side, LPI also played extremely well. They had so many kills early for that Annie, and Annie was dealing so much damage. It was insane, but very well played to both of the teams, and congrats to the Kodiak for winning.
Absolutely. They just picked that final team fight absolutely perfectly. And we kind of saw, like, okay, the Saint Piux, LPI, they have to all dive in together. And to be honest, they did all dive in together, but inadvertently funneled themselves. And that's just an unfortunate turn of events there, as the Jake there on that Diana was absolutely able to capitalize. Yeah,
but that's the exact combo that I was mentioning. I was waiting for the moment. I was like, Diana's going to go in, she's going to ulti once, and then the Yasuo's going to come in and just dead. And that's exactly what happened. They played it so well. And also, just what we were saying earlier, the vision? I applaud them for the vision. It was amazing. They had like every choke point figured out, and they were able to keep such a good track on LPI to the point where LPI couldn't really do much. As you said, they did have the pick comp, but it's like I felt like the majority of the game, only the Annie had the damage.
Unfortunately, like, and unfortunately, there was a few instances too where that Tibbers was just barely off.
Oh,
it happens to everybody. Sure. Like, they first picked the Draven. And to be fair, it went even in that bot lane for the most part. However, if you're picking Draven, I feel like you have the confidence to just destroy that lane. Yeah. And he wasn't able to get ramped up to that level that Dravens want to get to. No. Usually, I feel like if a Draven's fighting evenly, they're behind.
The Thresh was able to hold the Draven back into the lane and back at turret a lot that game. Despite having an Alistar, Alistar did miss a couple of knockups here and there, but Thresh can also flay Alistar away from him and away from Yasuo as well. So that didn't help either in that situation.
Oh yeah, and then just Alistar in general was just like tanking ults.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it going over to the Draven, there's multiple times where we've seen, I think it was Illusion on the Yasuo, would dive in with the ulti, but it only got the Alistar. The
Yeah.
Draven was just free firing. And honestly,
Yeah.
was doing exactly what they needed to do. Sure, like a couple pulverized combos may have been a little bit out of position, but that's still a-okay. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing your job. You're the tank, diving on through, but just could not deal with that much damage.
Yeah. Nonetheless, again, very well played to both of the teams.
Absolutely.
I believe we are going to take a break.
Yes, we should have another one
Yes.
happening at 12 o'clock. So about another approximately 10-minute break before we hop into the next one, as I do believe we have Team Bots versus D to Dance. So should
Ooh.
be another fun one. Our final round robin one
Nice.
before we start getting into the actual playoff side of things. So more exciting high school action coming up here in the OFSEA Provincial Championships. Be sure not to go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.